Hi, I'm Travis Monson with Once Upon a Board Game. Today I want to teach you how to play Super Mega Lucky Box. Gotta love the name, right? Anyway, this is a great game. Again, I call the genre roll and write, although technically in this game you're flipping over cards, you're not rolling dice. But again, it's this genre of games that I really like where you're writing stuff down on cards. And it's designed by a guy named Phil Walker Harding, he's one of my favorite designers. I see his name and I'm immediately interested. You may have played some of his stuff. Maybe you've played Sushi Go. Maybe you've played Baron Park. Maybe you've played Silver and Gold. He's designed a whole lot of stuff, but his stuff is really, really fun. And this is a great one. Let me show you how it plays. It does say on the box that it goes from 1 to 6 players. You can play solitaire. There's a great solitaire mode. It says the games last about 20 minutes. Yeah, easily. Yeah, you can get the games done in that time, if not quicker. But it's a lot of fun. Let me show you how it works. Okay, as I said, I'm going to be teaching Super Mega Lucky Box, which, by the way, is a spectacularly fun game. Just kidding. Anyway, all right, so let me talk about what you get in the box. So first of all, this comes with pieces, enough pieces for 6 players. So there's a bunch of dry erase markers. There's a bunch of these lightning bolts and these moons. There's a whole deck of these number cards, okay, like you see some of these out here. And there's a bunch of these Super Mega scorecards. All right, that's what I got, one of those in front of me. I am actually going to just play this in a solitaire mode, but basically it plays the same way, whether you're playing alone or with multiple players, with one difference, and that's how the moons score. And I'll talk about that at the end, okay? But to start the game, each player is going to be dealt, so of course every player is going to get a marker and a scorecard. Every player starts with 4 lightning, and every player is dealt 5 cards. And from those 5 cards, you're gonna choose 3 to keep. The other 2 you're just gonna put in a discard pile. Also, there is a deck of number cards, and there's the numbers 1 through 9, and there's 2 of each number. So there's 18 cards here. So at the start of the game, you're gonna mix this deck up, you're gonna shuffle it, and then you're gonna take, I've already shuffled it a few times, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You're gonna take 9 of those cards, and the rest you'll just set aside. This game is played over 4 rounds, and you kind of see on your Super Mega scorecard here that there's a chance to score in 4 different rounds, okay? 1 round is gonna end when you've played all 9 of these number cards, okay? And yeah, so after 4 rounds of playing 9 cards each, you add up your score, and the highest score wins, right? So let me explain how this works. So again, you're gonna choose 3 of the 5 cards you have to keep. And there's a few things to think about. So first of all, it recommends try and keep some of all the different numbers. And right now I'm looking, I've only got a 4, 5, 6 there. I've got a few 4, 5, 6s here. So I probably want to keep this card for sure. Let me get, maybe I'll keep this card. So far I've got 3 different rows of 7, 8, 9, 1 row of 1, 2, 3. So maybe I'll take this other one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so that works, you know. A couple of things you're thinking about. You're thinking about trying to get a fairly even distribution of numbers. You're thinking about some of the bonuses you're gonna get because when you complete rows and columns, you get the little bonuses. Stars are a way to score points each round. Moons are a way to score points at the end of the game. So we'll kind of get into how that works. But again, you're gonna choose 3 of the cards to keep, discard the other ones. Everybody will do that simultaneously. Once everybody has their 3 cards, you're ready to start, okay? And I do want to just point out, it comes with pieces up to, for up to 6 players, but it does talk right in the back of the rule book that, hey, if you want to play with more, like if you want to play from, with 7 to 12 players, just add another copy of the game. So you could definitely play with really an unlimited number of people. It's what one person does is not going to affect anybody else, really. And the cards are numbered. There's numbers in the little bottom. So in case you did combine 2 sets, you would be able to separate the cards back out again afterwards. All right. So again, what do we do? Like I said, you play 4 rounds. Each round, you're gonna flip over 9 cards, okay? So, for instance, we flip over a 3, okay? And you always are just gonna set the cards aside. So every time that you flip over a number, you simply are gonna choose that number anywhere on one of your cards and cross it off. Even if you have that number multiple times, you can only ever cross off one of that number, okay? And you have lightning bolts to help modify that number. So if you ever get a card that you don't have, or maybe you would rather have a different number to maybe complete a row or a column or to complete an entire card, that's what these lightning bolts are for. Okay, for every lightning bolt that you spend, you can modify the number plus or minus 1. And you do wrap around from 1 to 9 and vice versa. So, for instance, For a single lightning bolt, I could make that a 2, then a 1, then a 9, for instance, right? So you've got these lightning bolts to give you a little bit of flexibility with the numbers. Okay, but again, I've got plenty of 3s. So maybe I'll say, you know what, I'm gonna cross off a 3 right here. Why not? Okay, that's my turn, right? Everybody will do that simultaneously. When everybody's ready, go to the next card. A 1, okay? So maybe I'll do a 1 right here, okay? Simple enough, right? Then 7, okay? How about a 7 right over here, okay? Then a 2. How about we do this 2 right here, okay? Then another 2, okay? I've got another 2 right here. Why not go there? Then a 3, okay? So here's gonna be one of my first bonuses. If I cross off this 3 right here, I just completed a row. Whenever you complete a row or a column, you're gonna get the bonus in the little box at the end of that row or column, okay? A question mark lets me immediately cross off any one number on any of my cards, okay? And one important thing to note with these bonuses, if you ever have a bonus of numbers, you cannot use lightning bolts to modify the bonus numbers, okay? You can only use the lightning bolts to modify the numbers that are drawn on the cards, okay? And you always have to use these bonuses immediately or you forfeit them if you're unable to, okay? So for instance, with a question mark, I can get any number that I want. So how about I do this? I cross off a 1 here, which, hey, and you always are gonna mark off, hey, I just used that bonus. And I just crossed off the 1 that gave me another row, which gives me a bonus of an 8. So I can cross off an 8 somewhere else. So maybe I'll put an 8 right here, okay? So that would be that turn. Then the next card, another 8. Okay, so maybe I'll cross off this 8 here. And then another 1. So I can cross off the 1 there. And then a 7. Okay, 7, how about I do this 7 right here? Okay, so that's 9 cards. I've marked off all my boxes so far, okay? At the end of the round, what's gonna happen, first of all, you're gonna collect all these cards, okay? And you do not just go to the other half of the deck. Otherwise you could count cards and predict what was gonna come. You never do that. So at the end of the round, you take all the cards that you already played, you mix them all back together. Whoops, they're flying everywhere here. You mix all the cards together and you're gonna draw an entirely new set of cards for that next round. Okay, so there's no guarantee that you're ever gonna see a certain number. It's always just kind of the luck of the shuffle, the luck of the draw, right? Let's cut the deck there once, okay? So first and foremost, like I said, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You get your 9 cards that we're gonna play. And then also, you first of all look, hey, scoring for round 1. A couple of things that you're gonna score over the course of the game. First of all, you can score points for having completed cards. So every card that you've marked off all 9 of the main numbers, that's a completed card. And depending on how early in the game you do it, you'll score more or less points. So if I was to have completed a card in this first round, I would score 15 points for every card that I completed, right? By round 4, it's only gonna be 8 points for every card that I complete, okay? So the sooner you can complete cards, the more points you're gonna get. 15, 12, 10, or 8 points times the number of cards you completed is how many points you'll score, okay? The next little thing, the pink, is the stars. You'll notice at the bottom of some of those rows, or sometimes at the side, depending on where they are, you see little stars, okay? Every time that you get a star, and again, I didn't complete any cards, so I just say I didn't score any points for completing cards that round. Anytime that you get a bonus of a star, you would immediately mark on your board that you got a star. You can get up to a maximum of 3 stars per round, like that, okay? Then of course you can see, depending, if you complete more than just 3 stars in a given round, you'll just forfeit the surplus, okay? And you can see, depending on how many stars you gained in a given round, you'll score 1 or 4 or 9 points at the end of the game, okay? So it behooves you to maybe try and get a bunch of stars completed all at the same time to get the full 9 points instead of just, 1 point each round, okay? Then these other scoring options will come at the end of the game. So first of all, at the end of the game, obviously you have some cards that are not going to be completed yet. If they were completed, you would score for having complete cards. So you look at all the cards that are not complete, you add up the total number of boxes you do have checked off, and those are the main boxes, just the 9 main boxes. You don't count the bonus boxes on the side or the bottom. But you count the number of main boxes you've marked off, and you divide it by 2. Basically, so for every 2 boxes, you're gonna score a point. And you do round down, okay? And then finally, the moons, okay? This is the one difference between a solitaire game and a multiplayer game. In a multiplayer game, at the end of the game, everybody adds up their total number of moons that they have. Whoever has the most moons is gonna gain 6 points. Whoever has the fewest moons is gonna lose 6 points, okay? And ties are friendly, meaning if 2 people tie for the most moons, they will both get the 6 points. If 2 people tie for the fewest moons, you know, in other words, if there's maybe 2 or 3 people that didn't get any moons, for instance, they end the game with 0, they would have the fewest moons and they would lose 6 points, okay? One exception to the losing 6 points is in a 2-player game, only the person with the most gains 6. Otherwise, you know, a 12-point swing of one person gaining 6 and the other losing 6, that'd be a little too powerful. So in a multiplayer game, it's the most gains 6, the fewest loses 6. In a 2-player game, only the most gains 6. And in a solitaire game, you look at a little chart here. So in a solitaire game, depending on how many moons you collected, you will just score a flat number of points. Okay, so you have to get at least 2 moons even just to break even. Okay, that's the one difference between a solitaire game versus a multiplayer game. Other than that, the game plays exactly the same. Okay, so like I said, at the end of the round, you're gonna see, did I complete any cards? Did I score any points for stars? Okay, you're gonna also reshuffle and draw 9 new cards for that next round. And then also, every player will simultaneously get dealt 3 new cards from the deck, okay? And so you flip those over and look at them. And of those 3 new cards, you choose 1 more to keep. So for instance, okay, I crossed off a lot of my 1s, 2s, 3s. So maybe I want a card with some of those lower numbers. This is the only one. So maybe I'll keep this one. Okay, and I'll discard these. So everybody simultaneously is gonna choose 1 new card out of those 3 new ones they were dealt. And then you would keep going. Like if, for instance, I had completed a card, I would of course mark that I scored it. Then I would erase it all and put it back in the discard pile because those cards could get shuffled back into the deck if the draw pile does run out. Okay, so whenever you complete a card, you will score it at the end of the round, then erase it and put it back in the discard pile. That didn't happen, so right now I'm currently working on 4 cards. And then again, boom, we do the same thing. Maybe I'll just play through 1 more round. Okay, so first card is a 4. So, let's say I'm gonna complete a 4 right here. It gives me a moon, so I can cross off that I got a moon, and I just take a little moon token. Okay, next card is a 9. With a 9, let's go right here. That gives me my first star. So I can mark off that I've got 1 star so far this second round. Third card is a 2. With a 2, you know what? I'd like to get 2 more stars this round. There's stars here. There's stars here. Maybe I'll work on one of those stars. So I'll do that. Third card is a 5. Okay, I really want to get this 5 here because that gives me another star. Okay, so that's my second star this round. That's good. If I can get 1 more, I'll maximize the 9 points for stars. Another 5. So here's just a little example of what you can do, for instance, okay? Again, I'll get 12 points if I complete this card. It's a 5, but I'd like it to be a 6. So I'm gonna pay 1 lightning bolt to change that number to a 6. Now, whenever you pay lightning to change a number, that only applies to you. For everybody else at the table, it remains a 5. So the number only changes for the person who plays a lightning. Okay, so I paid 1 of my lightning to get the 6. And a couple things happen. So first of all, I just completed the card. So I will score 12 points for that at the end of the round. But also, I get 2 bonuses. I get a lightning for completing this column and also another lightning for completing that row. But I do get 2 lightning bonuses for completing that, okay? And then this, I would just set it aside and I'll mark that I score it at the end of the round, okay? So again, next card, a 7. I would like to get 1 more star. So 6s, 5s, you know what? Maybe I can pay 1 of those lightning I just got to make that 7 an 8 to try and get this column here with the star. Next card, a 9, okay? Ooh, I like this, watch this. Okay, if I take a 9 right here, I complete the row, which gives me a 3, which I can cross off that 3 right there, which gives me that star. Woohoo! That was a good little bonus. So I'm gonna get the full 9 points this round for having 3 stars. Next card is a 2. I'll say, how about I do a 2 right here? And the last card is a 7. How about I do a 7 right there, which gets me another lightning. Boom. All right, that's good. So again, the round is over. So we will shuffle these cards back up and draw 9 more. after we mix them. Do we see, did anybody complete cards? I did. I completed 1 card, so 12 points times 1 card. I'll score 12 points, and I'm gonna get the 9 points for the three stars. Again, I would erase the card that I just completed, and it would go right into the discard pile, okay? Because that could possibly get shuffled back in. Then again, everybody at the table is gonna get dealt 3 new cards, and you're gonna choose one of them. So again, I've got basically very few 7, 8, 9, and very few 1, 2, 3s. So the only 7, 8, 9 is 4, 5, 6s. So maybe I'd rather get some 1, 2, 3s. Maybe I'll just do. But also, I gotta think. I need some more moons. There's no moons. I only have 1 moon so far. I don't want to risk having too few. Or in a solitaire game, I need to get at least 2 moons just to break even, to get 0. So none of those cards have moons though. Something to think about maybe for the final round, for round 4. You see some of the bonuses maybe have double lightning, right? So that's also a thing. And sometimes there's rows that don't have anything. Maybe the other benefits are good enough that you don't get a bonus for that row. That's all just part of the mix of the cards. But for this game, oh, you know what? Maybe I'll try getting another card with a bunch of stars. Try and get some more stars. Okay, so I'll discard the extras. We'll shuffle this deck, and you get the gist. Basically, we're gonna play 2 more rounds. There's one thing I wanna mention. There's a great smartphone app where you can play this game in app form, which I love it. I've done it a lot. In the app, there's one other piece of scoring. And basically, for every 3 lightning bolts that you have left over at the end of the game, you can also get a point. That's something they only have in the app. It's not part of the scorecard. It's not part of the rules for the physical game. So I guess you, with your play group, you can choose whether or not to use that variant rule. Okay, but otherwise, you just play 4 quick rounds like that, shuffle up 9 cards, flip them over, and you know, mark off a box each time. And hopefully you get those combos that let you fill more stuff, to complete cards, to get stars, to get moons, and so on. And that's how it plays. So that's Super Mega Lucky Box. As you can see, the game is really, really simple. You just play 4 rounds, and each round you just flip over 9 cards, and you mark something off on your cards in front of you. So in terms of the rules, you know, there's not many games that are any simpler than that. But it's a lot of fun, especially when you get those combinations of, oh, this gives me this bonus, which gives me this bonus, which gives me this bonus. It's really rewarding and a lot of fun when you have turns like that. But as you can see, it's just quick and easy. This is, like I said, this is in this genre of games that I personally call roll and writes. Although technically, yes, we are flipping over cards, not rolling dice. I call them all roll and writes, sorry. Maybe it's a bad habit. But it's a lot of fun. And I've got a whole lot of games that are this genre. I think I'm gonna do more of these little run-through videos with other games in this genre. If this one has piqued your interest, or you know, if you have it but just hadn't played it yet, hopefully this helps you learn how to play it, and hopefully it gets you to get interested in more roll and write type games. If there's a roll and write that you like, that you want me to cover, let me know. I'd be happy to try and do a run through for it. But yeah, I think I'm gonna do more of these videos with similar games, because they're lots of fun. And really, people of all ages can play. You know, it's really fun and easy. They're quick, and yeah, it's fun. So once again, thanks for watching. Travis Montz with Once Upon a Board Game. Let me know if there's something I can do to help. Thanks.